I really wasn't going to speak on this topic today because my colleagues have so capably expressed our collective outrage at the threat of defunding a museum because of some disagreements. But I am a charter member of the National Museum of African American History and Culture. I started contributing to that museum years before the museum opened. And I just remember when I was invited to a preview opportunity to visit the full museum before that fabulous grand opening that they held when President Bush came with President Obama. It was just beautiful. And I remember walking into the museum. And at that time, it was much easier to get down to the first level and work your way up. I assume all our colleagues here have been to the African American History and Culture Museum. Takes you back to the 1500s, 1600s, the transatlantic slave trade. But before then, there was this beautiful, like, whole wall covering of iconic Black Americans across history. And before we even got to an exhibit, I was sobbing. I was overcome by emotion that the United States, the people of the United States would invest in building this incredible monument of dedication and recognition to the contributions of African Americans throughout history. And that I was part of it. The sense of pride I felt. Now, listen, I was not a member of Congress. I was not contemplating becoming a member of Congress. I was a regular American who cared and was proud of my history and my heritage. I brought a friend that day. Her name's Christina Henderson. She now serves in the DC City Council. And we were just sitting there ugly crying together before we even started. And I just have to impress that upon you because I had with such pride being there. And I would not want to be part of any movement, whether it is a political, tactical strategy decision to delay that kind of joy and expression to another American. We have the opportunity as leaders to have negotiations, to work out language, to be able to make decisions to ensure the proper presentation and recognition of historic, iconic people. We do that every day. We do recognitions, we do congressional gold medals, right? We have wonderful opportunities to hear from global leaders like we did earlier today. We have the opportunity to recognize people all the time. But to deny the American people, even for a day, which is what the base text does by defunding this museum, to me is unconscionable. And so, I don't know the political side of this. But here in the Congress, we say, at least on our side, that we put people over politics. And when I look at this is 100% putting politics over people, and it is just shocking to me. I don't know how this is part of the extreme MAGA agenda. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. But it just feels to me that this is the wrong way to go. And we know who to call over at the Smithsonian to work it out. And it shouldn't involve a threat or any kind of delay of getting this museum stood up for the American people to experience.